99% of applications never result in an interview. It takes up a ton of people's time. It's a ton of stress. If you're already working in a job and you want a better job, or you're unemployed, there's a much better way to get a job than applying for jobs online and trying to get an interview. The truth is, informal networks and informational interviews are much better ways of spending your time than applying for most jobs online. Definitely, there are times when a perfect job comes along and you apply for it, you get the interview, you get the job offer, but that is a unicorn situation. For 99% of people, their qualifications might not be perfectly lined up, and even if they are, there might be somebody who's an internal referral who moves to the top of the pile, even doesn't get reference checked, who gets the job, gets the interview, where people are left scratching their head, I was totally qualified. Informational interviews totally flip the script on how to get a better job, how to get a job if you're unemployed. So what's an informational interview? An informational interview is connecting with somebody within an organization that you may want to work at, and that is a key point there. Not that you're trying to work at, but you're trying to find out more information to see if it is a place you want to work and if it's a place that's a fit for you as well. I definitely know there's times when we're going after the money, we want a job that's at a great company with a big name like Google or Amazon, any number of big companies, but it might not be a really good fit for us culturally, how we like to work, and our past work experience, how much income we want to make, the hours that are being offered, the location of the work, all those things might not be a perfect fit. And that's where doing an informational interview gives you an idea if the organization you're trying to possibly get a job with and the industry and the companies that are like it are a fit for you. And you're building your network, your informal network, expanding it, making it deeper, building relationships, which is the way that most people get jobs. It's not through their best friends, it's actually through their informal, larger networks, right? So their church group, their soccer team, their football team, their friends, their kids' parents. Informal networks are a great way, whether you're leveraging your alumni network at your schools, your past colleagues, all things that you should leverage, and informational interviews are really key in leveraging that network. So an informational interview is when you approach somebody and say, hey, you've got an amazing career. I love how you were promoted into the managerial role at Tesla. Can I grab 15 minutes of your time and just ask you more about the company and how you like working there? This type of complimentary introduction is a really good way to find out more about a company and see if it's a fit for you, to see if you want to pursue a job with that company in that industry, possibly with other competitors, build a relationship with that person, not so they can help you get a job, but their network can help you eventually find the right job. So paying that compliment, hopefully getting that time with somebody, even if you don't actually get that informational interview with that person, you might get a referral to somebody you can do an informational interview with. Regardless, you're leaving a good impression with that person. One, by doing a compliment, and two, showing that you really like and respect the work they're doing and why they're doing it. So my recommendation is be asking for informational interviews at least once or twice a week if you're looking for a better career. If you're unemployed, you should be asking for and trying to get informational interviews at least 3 times a week, ideally 5 times a week. So really taking a gamification strategy and really trying to get these informational interviews as soon and as often as possible. So informational interviews, you should have a bunch of really good questions on how the person got to where they are, what skills they needed to get there, and what they like and how they're doing their job, right? So open-ended questions are a great way to get to know people and really draw out information that'll be helpful for you in your job search. Asking good follow-up questions like, who else? What other companies? Where else? Who can I talk to? Those are such important things, open-ended questions and follow-up questions, right? If somebody took a course that really helped them get a job, what other courses? Where can I find out more information about that? All those good follow-up questions will help you in your job search. And who else? Where else? what other companies are really key, because small businesses really drive the economy and usually drive the largest number of jobs. There's definitely times when small businesses aren't hiring, but they often have more acute needs than a large organization. Google isn't just going to add a job just because somebody came to them with the right skills. They've got all these procedures, and they might have hiring freezes, where small businesses, even when they say they're not hiring, they might end up hiring in the next week. They might hire informally through a contract and not post a job. Jobs that aren't posted, the hidden job network is really out there. And this is a way of finding out about those jobs, finding out about those opportunities, being able to pick up contract work and really work that informal network. So really, your skills are super important. Your self-inventory, which I totally recommend people do, really figuring out what they want. But as part of that journey, getting informational interviews, right? Tracking it, putting a goal of how many informational interviews you're trying to do each week. In person is so much better than over the phone or by Zoom, but really that should be your priority. Just getting the time with somebody. And if it's just by Zoom or if it's just over the phone, that's a great 15 minutes to build a relationship quickly with somebody. Doing follow-up afterwards is going to be key, but really trying to get that 15, 20 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever it is. If you can buy them a coffee, I know the price of coffee has gone up. Sometimes lattes are $10 with tip, but you could always buy them an expensive latte or offer to bring coffee as well, right? Say, oh, I'm just in the neighborhood. I just grabbed a Tim Hortons if you're in Canada, or a Starbucks in the States. I'd love to grab 15 minutes with you. Do you have the time? A lot of people might find that too pushy, but once you've built a relationship with people, you're doing a follow-up with somebody who says, oh, I'm too busy this week, but check with me next week. That's when you really want to be following up and saying, hey, I'm just in the neighborhood tomorrow. Do you mind if you grab a coffee? So really being proactive, following up, staying positive. Even when you get rejected for an informational interview, it's a touch point with people who might refer you for a job, either with their company or another company in the future, right? So staying positive, not badgering, right? If somebody follows up with me and really has something relevant, shares something with my industry, compliments me on one of the videos I did, any number of things, I am more likely to be like, yeah, I'll give somebody 15 minutes of their time. Or, listen, I'm too busy, but can I refer you to a colleague? And also saying to very busy people, CEOs, managers, anybody, saying, do you have time in the next couple of weeks, right? Or I'm going to be in town next week. Can I grab some of your time? Those are the permission-based requests that are more likely to get accepted. So your goal after an informational interview is to have hopefully one or two other leads to follow up with, the names of several other companies, or maybe one or two people within the organization or in other organizations that you're going to continue to build relationships in the network with, having a chance to follow up, asking permission-based, hey, do you mind if I follow up with you in 2 weeks or in 2 months and just check and see how things are going, if you've heard of any other jobs that are coming online. Those questions should be the last thing you get to after you've had a chance to really learn about the individual and their organization and what other organizations. My advice to people is spend a lot more time trying to get informational interviews rather than getting formal interviews. Yes, you're going to get formal interviews. Yes, they're an important part of your journey, but if you can get eventually referred in by somebody in your network, the employee referral programs that companies have are super important. Or if you can find out about an opportunity or a job, a contract opportunity or a job that isn't being advertised yet, you're more likely to get that job offer, get that really step up in your career, or a job if you're unemployed. If you've got any questions about informational interviews, ask them below. Happy to do more videos on this topic, which is so important. Questions about your job search, I'd love to get to them. People ask me all the time, but I can't get to everybody's questions. I've got 13,000 people on LinkedIn I'm connected with, thousands of people on Facebook and other platforms. So I can't answer all the questions, but if you ask them here, my team will try and compile them and we'll try and get to those on the next one. Thank you and good luck on your search.